We're just gonna slowly work her. And I lost it. The Bose Sleepbuds have been an absolute lifesaver. My wife and I both sleep with white noise, have been doing that for quite a while, but we had a problem. We could hear the white noise, but we could also hear each other's noises that you make when you're sleeping. Neither of us really snore, but it was really, really cool to put the Sleepbuds directly into our ear and have the white noise going directly into our ears. And one of the best features is the fact that I can use my alarm and have it go directly into my ear now and not even disturb my wife. But there was a massive flaw with the Bose Sleepbuds, and I'm gonna tell you what that is and exactly how I solved the only problem that I've found with these Sleepbuds in this video right now. Let's go. Oh, but wait, today's video is sponsored by Skillshare, but I'll tell you about that later, so let's get right back to it. So the Sleepbuds come in this really cool charging case, as you can see right here. We've been using these for several months now, so this is a used pair as well as my wife's pair right here. I'm not gonna show you hers just yet because it's gonna reveal how we fixed the one problem. So here's the one problem with these Sleepbuds. The Sleepbuds themselves are very small, very discreet. There's different sizes of these little adapters that you can put on to fit pretty much any ear. You got big ears, small ears, medium-sized ears. You should be able to find an adapter that fits perfectly comfortable into the ear. They're also super easy to put in. You just slip it in right like this, pop the little tab in there, and you're good to go, good to sleep. So there it is right there in my ear. It's very comfortable. When your head is on the pillow, don't even feel it. First couple of nights maybe took a little bit of getting used to because you do know that there's something in your ear, and if you're not used to sleeping with earplugs or anything like that in your ear, you will notice a little bit of difference, but the white noise is going directly into your ear, so it's drowning out, and they're called noise masking Sleepbuds. So they don't boast that they're soundproof or anything, but I gotta tell you, my wife has used these a couple of times on the airplane. And in an airplane situation, it's really drowned out most of the noises and caused her to be able to actually sleep on the plane, which isn't always easy for her to do. So super comfortable to have those right there in the ear. To take them out, you just pull that little tab out and boom, just like that, they're out and you can pop them back into the case. There's a left and a right. These are your little charging indicators for the case itself. So the case, depending on use, about 5 days is what we're getting from the case. You just simply plug in the USB cable in the back to charge them. We keep these when we're at home on our nightstand, so they're always charged, they're always ready to go, so never have to worry about charging the case itself. But it is nice to be able to just pull the case off, not worry about a charging cable if you're just going for a couple of nights. By far, my favorite feature is the fact that I can set an alarm. The alarm goes off in my ear. I'm the only one that hears my alarm. I get up, I don't disturb my wife, and because she's got her Sleepbuds in, she doesn't even hear me getting out of bed. Before, I couldn't sneak out of bed and go cycling in the morning without her knowing that I was getting up, because one, she heard my alarm, and two, any movement in the bed, you know, she just heard that movement, me getting up and getting ready. These have been a true lifesaver in that fact. My wife doesn't snore at all. But she does tend to grind, and I would hear her grinding at night, and I kept having to wake her up and say, babe, you're grinding. And I'd have to wake her up so that I could go back to sleep. And then about 30 minutes later, she'd start grinding again, and I'd start hearing her again. So if your spouse is a snorer, a grinder, they're grinding their teeth at night, or any other noises going on in your room, you are going to love the Sleepbuds. But there was a massive flaw, and it was directly related to how the Bose portion there of the Sleepbud. So this white portion right here, it's like this, it's a hard plastic and has this gloss finish to it, and it didn't matter what pillowcase we were using, you could hear the plastic against the pillowcase, and it would make this, it's hard to describe, but you heard the movement. It's like the plastic was kind of gripping onto the pillowcase, and when you shifted your head at all, you would hear that kind of, it was like this weird, people describe it as squeaky noises. It's really the only negative review I've even seen of these Sleepbuds online, and that's the noise that this plastic against your pillowcase makes when you shift or move your head on that pillowcase at all. And it would literally wake you up and it would cause you to not be able to go to sleep, and then you're focused on keeping your head perfectly still, not moving at all, and it was just annoying. And so I came up with this idea of how to fix it. And you're probably wondering, what are those little Moleskin pads doing right there? Well, let me explain. This is how I fixed the problem. So here, I'm gonna show you my wife's pair because I've already done the treatment to this pair. I'm gonna redo it on this pair because I'm gonna show you exactly how I applied what you're gonna see right now. Boom. I fuzzied them. I put the Moleskin directly on the back side of the plastic part and prevented any part of that white Bose labeled plastic part from contacting the pillowcase. So it's fabric on fabric. And the reason I like the Moleskin is because it adheres to that plastic really well. It's still completely removable, doesn't leave any trace on the sleep buds themselves. And the nice thing is it does not interfere with the performance of the sleep buds whatsoever. So that is exactly how I solved that problem. Is I put a little bit of Moleskin on the backside here. I'm going to apply them to my sleep buds so you guys can see exactly how I did this. Now, the one thing that I've noticed is that as you sleep on it, depending on how hard your head is against your pillow, how firm your pillow is, you're going to eventually wear this off. It lasts for a few weeks, sometimes about a month, and then you're gonna have to reapply. So every so often I reapply it. It's a great chance for me to clean my sleep buds and get everything cleaned out because, you know, they are in your ears. No way to get around that. So it is nice to keep your sleep buds clean. So let me just pull this out here so you can see what it looks like. So this is the adapter piece. They provide different sizes of this, but this is the actual electronic component of the sleep bud. And as you can see, I've put the Moleskin just down and around the edges so that it covers all of the plastic from showing and making contact with that pillowcase. So that is how I do it. And now I'm gonna show you exactly the process that I use to apply them to make sure they stay on, make sure they stick, and you don't have to be reapplying more often. So the other nice thing is the Moleskin, if you get it the right thickness, and there's a couple different thicknesses here. This is a thinner one that you could use. My preference are these thicker Moleskins that I then pull down to thinner, and I'll tell you why in just a second, why I like these and where you can get these at. I was not able to find these in any local drugstore, but I'll give you a link down in the description of this video. There'll be a link there as to where I ordered these from, way less expensive buying them online as well. So check those out as well. I'll also leave a link down in the bottom where I purchased these sleep buds at the cheapest price because they're not cheap. They're $250 retail, but I'll put a link in the description of this video where I found them for about $20 to $30 cheaper, depending on the time of the year. But these are a must-have if you're looking for better sleep. Now let me show you how I applied the Moleskin. All right, so I'm gonna do it to this pair right here. And there's a couple things that you're gonna need. You're gonna want these thicker Moleskins, or if you're just gonna go to your local drugstore, or you have some maybe Moleskin in your house you wanna try them out with, you can do this one as well. So I'm gonna do one with this and one with the thicker Moleskin U-shaped ones there and show you how that's done. So the first thing that you wanna do is you wanna pull your sleep bud out, and you wanna pull it out of the adapter and just set that to the side. Now these are labeled, so there's a right and a left, and then these adapters are specific to right and left as well, and they are labeled. So you can see right there the R, it's upside down, but you can see the R right there. So these are labeled, but I do still like to do them one at a time. That way I don't get them mixed up or have to keep checking which ones are right or left. So the first step here is you're gonna wanna get some alcohol prep pads or just alcohol. I like the prep pads because if you're using a cotton ball or something, you potentially get the little fuzzes or the cotton on there. So I just like taking the alcohol prep pad, like so. And you're just gonna wipe all the surfaces of the white plastic top part here. that will happen as well. They're very small. When you put alcohol on them, they do tend to slip down. So don't do this over water. Don't do it over gravel. Just do it at a countertop, well-lit place. You're just gonna clean that surface off. If you're redoing these from a previous application, you're gonna find that there might be some of the sticky residue from the previous Moleskin on there, and you're gonna have to work a little bit harder. I've pre-cleaned these so they weren't all gunky and nasty for you guys. But as you can see there, just wipe it down, give them a good clean, and then I'm just gonna set those down, let that dry for just a second while I do my left one as well. I like to just use one alcohol pad. So I'll do this and then I'll set that one there. Let me wipe down this other one, set that right there. It's really important to do the alcohol because this gets off any oil residues or anything and just really helps keep these things stuck a lot better. Now the next thing you want to do is you're going to want to cut out a circle out of the Moleskin. So just take a pair of scissors, and I've done this a few times, so I've kind of gauged how big they need to be, but you can just kind of eyeball it and then you can trim off any excess later. So I just do kind of a rough cut like that at first. So as you can see, it's, you know, obviously bigger. I like to cut it bigger than I'm gonna need. And then I can trim off the excess after the fact. Okay. So now all we're gonna do, try to not touch the top of that after you've cleaned it, because you're just gonna potentially put more oils back onto the sleep bud. So you can pull this off. Now notice this is a clear sticky on the bottom of here, and I'll come back to that in just a second, but I just wanted you to notice the difference between the two. So what I like to do is just come here and stick the top of the sleep bud just on the top of that there. And then what I like to do is work the sides down and around. Now I do notice that there's a little bit of excess here. So I'm gonna trim off some of the excess. You do want it to go down and over the side some. That's gonna give it a lot better adhesion to the sleep bud. But you don't want it to go too far that it interferes with any of the speakers, because that's the speaker right there. Also be careful not to poke your scissors in there or do anything crazy like that. These are very small. As you can see, I've got larger hands, so this is a little bit tedious for me, but if I can do it, you can do it for sure. All right, so now when I fold this over, as you can see, it's gonna come down right about to the line. And what I do is I just slowly work it around. You don't wanna do it too fast because then you'll get some really big wrinkles in there. But the Moleskin, because it's meant to go on your feet normally, it's very pliable. So I just work it around slowly, just like that. Keep working it around. Keep working it around there. Around there. And there. And just keep working it around. And it will start to stick onto there. Now, this does really well, but I'm going to show you how I do the other one, because this, even though it applies really, really nicely and is super flat, what I found is the clear adhesion that comes on these normal Moleskins, they don't last as long on the sleep buds. There's something about it, the adhesion just is not quite as strong. But as you can see, we've got a pretty little fuzzy sleep bud. So we have now officially fuzzied this one right here. We're gonna get our little adapter here and we're gonna stick it in. What you wanna do, let me show you this here. What you wanna do is you wanna stick the speaker end directly down in towards where it'll come out into the ear. So you're gonna stick this right down in there, getting this speaker down into the little ear canal portion there. Right here, these are the little contacts, the little charging contacts. Those have to be visible. So you know that you've put it in correctly if those are visible. Let me just pop that out there so you can see. See that right there? They don't have to be at 100%, that's good enough right like that. But if those are not aligned properly, then your sleep buds just won't charge. They won't charge at all. Now I'm not going to show you because I don't want to gross you out, but inside of here, if you tend to have a lot of earwax, I like to clean the inside of these out every time I do this treatment. So what I'll do is I'll take that alcohol swab and just go inside and clean it all out and just kind of sanitize the whole thing so they're nice and fresh and clean. But there we go. There's our first one done. So we can now put that back in the case, right like so. And when you put these back in the case, you're gonna wanna make sure that this white light starts to glow, because if that doesn't start to glow, then you didn't get the contact set in there properly. So just make sure that that glows. There's nothing frustrating than being all ready to go to sleep, all tired, ready to put your sleep buds in and have a nice sound night's sleep, only to find out your sleep buds were not put in properly and you've only got about 40% charge left. I put these in every single morning into the case and they're ready to go at night. You get about 16 hours out of the sleep buds depending on your volume level, and you can adjust that inside of the app. But if you don't charge them every night, your chances are you're not gonna make it through the next night at the same settings you like if you don't charge them every single night. All right, so let's do the second one here, and I'm gonna use the thicker one. I'm gonna show you exactly why I like these thicker ones.
And on that note, let's pay some bills.
One of the big things I get asked when doing these videos and publishing them is, how did you learn how to do this? How'd you learn how to video edit? How'd you learn how to do it, the cool graphics? How'd you learn how to do the audio and all those things? I was homeschooled all 13 years of my life. So I learned from a very young age that I needed to teach myself things, and I could teach myself anything that I wanted to. Well, now there are programs like Skillshare where you can just log on to a site, and with their premium plan, you can get access to thousands of videos teaching you step by step how to do things. And we're talking about things such as illustration and graphic design and fine arts and animation and creative writing and photography and film and video, marketing and productivity. There are so many different skills that you can learn right inside of Skillshare, and it's a great learning community. Premium membership, it just gives you the ultimate access to everything that they offer so that you can start learning the skills that you need to advance your career or maybe just your hobby, whether you're just fueling your curiosity or you're trying to find that perfect place for learning. Now, sure, you can go YouTube your way to learn anything, but there's nothing better than to have a step-by-step guide like Skillshare offers so that you can actually learn in a structured manner. I particularly like the classes on the film and video because it allowed me to take some of my film skills to the next level. And as you can see by my video here, I'm not a professional. I'm just out here putting out some cool information, and it relates to a lot of people. And as I put out one more video and one more video, then it becomes more and more polished, and it's thanks to programs like Skillshare that have allowed me to advance my knowledge of how to do these type of technical aspects. It's also incredibly affordable. In fact, if you click the link in the description below, you're gonna get access to 2 free months of their premium membership, but it's only for the first 500 members. So be sure to click the link in the description of this video so you can access it and start learning now. Learn your way to success. I'm going to cut out. It is too thick. If you put this on just like this, it will not fit into the case. See, with these, there's no problem at all. You can see that right there as it comes over. It barely brushes it, but it doesn't push it out of the way, and it will still charge. Now, if you go really hard on it and close it, there is a chance that it'll get popped out of the charging socket there, the little spot where it's supposed to sit, but those thinner ones, they don't have a problem at all. The thicker ones, though, we have to be careful of that. So the first thing that I like to do before I apply this is I like to come in here and I like to, you gotta be careful because you don't want to peel it away from the backing, but just get a portion of the base, pull off most. You're gonna pull off most of this, but this just tears right off. So just like this, it tears off, and then you can discard that portion of it. And then you can come in here and you can just trim off some of these. Kind of like, you know, just grooming your dog. Just, you know, trim off some of the fur here. You don't need all that excess, and then you can even, I'll sometimes even further trim it once it's on the sleep bud itself. But this is about the thickness that you want. It doesn't really matter the thickness of this in terms of preventing the noise on the pillow. It's really just about keeping enough fuzz on there that it does the job, but you need to get this fairly thin because if you don't, you won't be able to close your lid. All right, so the next step here is we're going to peel off, and this is a little bit tricky, but you got to just get your nail in there. You could also use a razor blade if you want to. I do that, and then I grab on to the fuzz itself, and then it'll start peeling up. Now notice, this is a white backing. This white backing really grips. Doesn't do any damage to your sleep buds at all, but it really grips a lot better than the other one does. So you're just gonna pull this down there, set that right in there, kind of in the center. Notice I've just kind of stick it in the center. And then we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna work our way around, putting it down on all sides. This one I cut fairly well with the exception of this corner right here. So you can always trim off a little excess. Notice how that really stuck to the scissors there. This stuff just grips so much better than the regular Moleskin. All right, so come down here, do the same thing. We're just gonna slowly work her. And I lost it. We're gonna slowly work our way there. Now notice there's a lot of excess fuzz right here, so what we can do is we can just come in here and trim off a lot of this fuzz. I like to trim off the sides a little bit just so that it doesn't push its way out of the ear adapter at all. You don't want these things coming out. I have had them come out of my ears a couple of times, usually because I did not fit them into my ear completely when I went to sleep. And then I would wake up in the middle of the night and panic because I'm like, where is my one sleep bud? And you know, get up and find it. But that's only happened, I think, twice now where that's happened at all the nights that we've been using them. So if it happens, don't panic. It has to be somewhere in your bed or under your bed or in your covers somewhere. So here I just like to go through here and groom the fuzzy top there a little bit. Never thought I'd actually be grooming a little tiny Bluetooth ear device in my YouTube videos, but here I am, I'm grooming a sleep bud. All right, so there it is. The left one is done. We can take the adapter now and put the long end, the little speaker in there, down into the ear canal, and notice I got it perfectly in. Usually they'll just pop right into place there and you're totally fine. So there we go. Put this inside the charging case. Now notice when I close this, the left one there does push down a little bit more, but it still does stay charged. You can then go in, if it's still too thick, you can just pull that out and trim that out a little bit more and you'll be just fine. But there it is. There is my fuzzy sleep buds. This is the regular Moleskin, and this is the thicker U-shaped Moleskin pads that I found online. Again, links will be in the descriptions for the sleep buds at the best price that I found, and also the thicker Moleskin. You did notice that white backing, that just sticks and lasts a lot longer than what I've found the regular Moleskin does. So these, and the reason is because these are meant to last for about 2 to 3 weeks to protect your feet. Regular Moleskin is only supposed to last 1 day. So that's the difference in the adhesion quality on the Sleep Number. I said Sleep Number. We have Sleep Number beds. If you guys want me to make a video on our Sleep Number bed, let me know down in the comments. I just said Sleep Number by accident, but we use sleep buds in our Sleep Number and we sleep so peacefully. So if you want me to do a review video on the Sleep Number bed, put that down in the comments. We actually have bought 3 Sleep Number beds now, and I won't tell you whether or not we like them or not, but put down in the comments if you want me to do a review video on the Sleep Number beds. We actually own 2 of the most expensive Sleep Number beds they offer, so I can give you a full review of everything Sleep Number. So there you have it. Hopefully that was helpful for you guys. You guys can go and not only get the sleep buds because they help you sleep so well, the white noise directly into the ear. You can also do tranquil noises, some meditation noises. They're just really comfortable in the ear, and they really can help you improve your sleep, drown out the noise. We love taking them on trips because we don't have to worry about noise at hotel rooms or wherever we're staying, because we know that we'll have our sleep buds in our ears. It'll drown out any additional noises in our hotel room, resort room, wherever we're staying. We just don't even have to worry about it now because we have our sleep buds. And my wife and I sleep very, very soundly and don't bother each other in the night if we ever make any noises. So there you go. Get yourself Bose Sleepbuds and then fuzzy them.